It is now 7 p.m. and I would like to call to order the December 13th, 2016 business meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Aldine Independent School District. Our ethics statement will be read by Mr. Rick Ogden.
As part of the reform, governance, and action work that the board and leadership in the district have gone through, the board adopted an ethics statement that affirms our commitment to ethical conduct. The statement is, the Board of Trustees is committed to and shall perform its duties ethically and according to our core beliefs. We will model the highest standards of conduct. We will ensure that no personal value system or personal goal interferes with our duty as public servants. The public interest shall be the principle which guides the board in its deliberations and decisions.
Thank you. I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone who is joining us tonight, that you took time out of your busy schedule to be with us. Tonight, we will celebrate achievements, review information, make policy decisions related to the effective operation of the Aldine Independent School District. Would like to thank everyone for being with us tonight. Let the minutes reflect that all board members are present with the exception of Merlin Griggs. If we have visitors in the audience that would like to make comments to the board and they have not filled out the audience participation form that looks like this, it's in the brochure next to the agenda books outside. Please do so at this time and give it to Ms. Loera, who's to my far right. The board will listen under item number 17 on the agenda, open forum for patrons desiring to be heard. Item number 5 on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Do we have a motion?
I move that the minutes for the regular meeting on November the 15th, 2016 be approved as printed.
And Madam President, I second the motion.
We'll begin the vote with Dr. Viola Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Page, yes.
Bourgeois, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Ms. Bourgeois, do we have any correspondence to be read tonight?
We have none tonight.
Thank you.
Academic report at the very top.
All right, we'll now have the academic report. Ms. Sarah Tomey.
Good evening, Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, and members of the board. The district academic decathlon was held November 11th and 12th at Eisenhower High School. All 7 of our high schools competed. Victory Early College High School won first place overall, with MacArthur High School taking second and Carver High School coming in third. Super Quiz is the part of the decathlon where the team competes together. Nimitz High School won first place in Super Quiz, with Carver High School coming in second, and there was a tie for third place between Davis and Victory. There are 3 categories for student competitors, with 3 students in each category in the academic decathlon: varsity, scholastic, and honors. The top-ranking varsity student was Amber Rodriguez from Victory. The top-ranking scholastic student was Victoria Basuto from Victory, and the top-ranking honor student was Rachel Ortega from MacArthur High School. Aldine will host the regional academic decathlon competition January 20th and 21st at Nimitz High School. Students from Davis High School attended the Texas Association of Journalism Educators Fall Fiesta in San Antonio in October. Students competed in a variety of events throughout the fiesta. Daisy Munoz, a senior, won an Excellence Award for a video commercial public service announcement. This category required students to produce a 15, 30, and 60-second commercial to be judged as one. The commercial advertised a real product or service, promoted a real or nonprofit organization, or educated the public on an important cause. Ada Argueta won honorable mention for cell phone photography, depth of field. In this category, students are given 4 categories from which to enter 2 photographs into any of those 4 categories. Students had 2.5 hours to shoot and upload the pictures and could only edit their photos inside their cell phones. So that's pretty incredible. And finally, the Texas International Thespian Society Convention Festival was held December 1st to 3rd in Dallas. Aldine High School, Carver, and Davis High School had students attending workshops and competing in a variety of acting categories, along with over 7,000 students from across Texas. Carver had 20 students advance to the national competition in Lincoln, Nebraska next June in a variety of categories. Davis went for the first time this year, and the duet acting team from Davis also advanced to the national competition. Alicia Aguilar from Carver participated in the college auditions part of this convention. She received 10 callbacks from a variety of universities from around the country to go be in their drama and theater program. Also at the convention, Ariel Holly was elected to the Student State Board, which is the student governing board for Texas thespians. Rashonda Jones, the drama teacher at Carver High School, was awarded the 2016 Above and Beyond Award for her service to this organization. This concludes the academic report for December 2016.
Thank you, Dr. Tomey. We'll now have the presentation of the program, followed by the recognition of staff and students and patrons by Mr. Garza.
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Bamberg and Dr. Blanson, good evening. Today, with your permission, we will switch the order of our presentation so that our children can go home at a decent hour. Tonight's program will be presented by the MacArthur High School Choir, directed by Micah Sherardo. But before we bring up MacArthur High School Choir, the MacArthur High School Choir to start the program, we must recognize our outstanding musicians that perform for us this evening. Here to present them is Colleen Riddle, Director of Music Education.
Thank you, Abel. Good evening, President Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, members of the board, and ladies and gentlemen. Performing for you in the lobby this evening were the Dunn Elementary Handbells, directed by Ms. Courtney Adams. They have done an outstanding job. They were reading real music out there. They weren't just singing colors or shapes or anything like that. They were reading actual music. So we are very proud of them. All right, thank you very much. We also were entertained with the Carver Orchestra Ensemble, directed by Mr. Michael McCullough, and they did an outstanding job.
Yes.
Why don't you say their name?
Good evening, distinguished board members. We would like to introduce from the Carver Orchestra, Quincy Chapman, Abigail Lugo, Graciela Sanchez, Brittany Montez, and Medicine Reynoso on cello.
To the center, to the center. Go to the center.
You did a great job too, yeah.
You did.
And next, to give us some variety, we had the Aldine High School Steel Drum Band, directed by Jeremy Gray, and percussion director Dominic Dawkins.
Good evening. I want to introduce to you the Aldine Steel Band. We got Joseph Aron, Elvis Valdespino, Armand Parsi, Mike Pham, Mian Nguyen, Imelda Castaneda, Vina Tran, Clarissa Martinez, Vivian Baines, Diane Bowman, Andrea Vasquez, and Jesse Osorio.
Great job, thank you.
Congratulations.
And tonight, we are honored to have the MacArthur High School Choir, directed by Mr. Micah Sherrato, here to perform for us. Don't they look sharp? And they will be singing Infant Holy, Infant Lowly,
Oh, my God.
followed by At Christmas.
Oh, gosh, there's a bunch of them.
That I attended the December 10th, last Saturday night, vertical concert, MacArthur Vertical Concert at Emma Campbell, and it was amazing. And they ended with the Hallelujah Chorus. Wow. I was definitely ready for Christmas.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
You're actually hearing two groups tonight. That was the MacArthur Chorale, and now you're going to hear the MacArthur Show Choir.
Fill your cup.
High School Choir, thank you very much, and we wish everyone a very joyful holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen.
That was great. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
People, saw a lot of people wanting to get up. I'm sure we can bring them back if you want to join them for a dance. You also saw some great artwork tonight. Michael Ann Kelly is here to tell us a little bit about the artwork. Michael Ann.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing us to put up a show. This month, we are celebrating our elementary art students, and their theme was I Wish. And if you could see from out there, they have lots of wishes from bunny rabbits to world peace, so big wishes, difference. And we also had a selection from the Texas area, Texas Association of School Boards, our representatives that represented Aldine at that show. So thank you, and personal invitation for January 12th, our first big Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo reception at MOC, 650 pieces, so plan a little time to browse. So thank you very much.
Now, let's move on with our recognitions. Dana Sheffield, Executive Director of Child Nutrition Services, will announce her Team of the Month. Dana.
President Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, members of the board, Child Nutrition is pleased to announce its Team of the Month for November, Ermel Elementary. This group fits the description of outstanding for several reasons, according to Supervisor Jennifer Earthley. Their demonstration of teamwork is visible on any given day of meal service through actions of work performance and dedication for students. Manager Damona Ray is consistent with operation expectations and standards. She works diligently to train staff on an individual basis and gives them empowerment through coaching, monitoring, and praise. Meal participation is excellent at Ermel. 52% of students in attendance participate in breakfast daily, and 90% choose to have lunch. These participation percentages meet their key performance indicator goals. During the month of November, Ermel hosted a family feast for parents. Child Nutrition prepared a traditional Thanksgiving meal and served 272 parents, plus over 600 students. Congratulations to this outstanding team, led by Manager Damona Ray, Supervisor Jennifer Earthley, and Specialist Maria Rieno, Venur Chambers, Berna Davis, Franchelle Smithers, and Ernestina Zuniga. We also extend appreciation to Principal Martha Escalante for her support of child nutrition. Thank you.
Next, Robin Derwa, Executive Director of Transportation, will announce her department's Employee of the Month. Robin.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank Abel first before I thank anyone at this point, because he's trying really hard with my name. He has really called me several times, and we practice on the phone. Today, he asked Selena to help him, and so she called as well, so to practice the name. So for the record, they wanted to know the correct pronunciation, and then they wanted me to give them the spelling of that enunciation. So I said, well, I'm going to tell you, in Louisiana, we always say it's Derwin, like a wham-wham baby, so it makes it easy. Derwin. And so Selena said, if we say your name that way, no one will know who we're talking about. This too shall pass. But I was always taught, pick your battles, and that wasn't a very important one. So, good evening, Board President, Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, and honored members of the board. It is with great pleasure this evening that I get to introduce the Employee of the Month for the Transportation Department. This month, Miss Eva Fuller is one of our special needs bus attendants. She has been with Aldine for more than 20 years. She has been able to watch her students go from the 3-year-old program to graduation and still stay in contact with them. She rises every morning at 3:30, she told me, to be at work on time for 5 so that she's not late for her bus route. So it is with great pleasure that we have the opportunity to give her this plaque. So thank you, Ms. Eva.
We tried. We'll keep trying. In 26 years, I want to be the first person to pronounce her name correctly. She said, now Emmett Rock, Executive Director of Buildings and Properties, will present the Building of the Month Award.
Thank you, Abel. Ms. Avalos, members of the board, Dr. Bamberg and Dr. Blanson, it is always my pleasure to stand before you and recognize the Building of the Month. Tonight is no different. I would like to have representatives of Olson please join me. As they make their way to the microphone, Ms. Santos Epina is a veteran of 23 years, of which 8 of those years she served as the head custodian. Ladies, on behalf of Buildings and Properties, it is my pleasure to congratulate you for the outstanding work that you and your team are doing over at Olson. Congratulations and keep up the good work.
Tonight, we also want to recognize the Aldine Police Department. Chief Craig Orlowski will announce the department's Employee of the Quarter. Chief.
I'd like to give Abel credit. He did nail my name. That was the correct spelling. And I don't know if you noticed, Emmett and I were admiring each other's suits just before the meeting. We must have the same tailor. It's almost identical. Well, good evening, President Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, board members, ladies and gentlemen. I have with me this evening Sergeant Susan Frank. She's been with the police department for 22 years, and she's currently a patrol supervisor. In addition to her patrol duties, she also performs a unique task for the school district. She helps train all the crossing guards that are used in the schools to help the children cross the streets at various locations. And she also helps us interview and hire and maintains all the equipment. So those stop signs and the whistles and the vests, she keeps all those and hands those out. Well, this year I noticed she was emailing me a lot saying she's going out to train. She's going out to train. And then I'd get a complimentary email back from a principal saying what a great job she did. And as these emails began to pile up, I finally asked her, I said, would you show me some numbers? Because it sure seems like there's an uptick this year. And sure enough, when she gave me the numbers, so far this year, she's trained 140 crossing guards. And I said, well, show me some prior years. And prior to that, she's been doing it since 2011, and even a couple years before, we had some numbers, and they had trained about 120, I believe, so 260 altogether. Yeah. And so this year jumped up to 140, and I really thought that was noteworthy. It's sometimes a thankless task, although she's often complimented. So I wanted to bring her here this evening to recognize her in front of the board. Sergeant Frank, congratulations.
Finally, Stacy Smith, Program Director of Resource Development, will announce a number of grants the district has received and has a presentation of the Aldine Education Foundation Innovative Grant recipients. Stacy.
Thank you. Good evening, President Avalos, board members, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, administrative leadership, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to report on recent grant awards. Will Patricia Ross, Principal of Hall Center for Learning, and Alyssa Amshoff please come forward? And we have extras. Who do we have with us today?
Okay, this is Ben Quartz and Jessica Miller. They're also a part of the student leadership group.
Okay, I apologize. If you'll please come forward. Believing that voluntary citizen action is one of America's fundamental strengths, the Charitable Schools Program provides funding to support student volunteering in their school community to develop leadership skills and a sense of personal responsibility for the welfare of others. This project was sponsored by the Meadows Foundation, and the total amount is $500. Congratulations. Thanks for bringing the team today. Thank you. Okay. Will LaDawn Ward, Principal of Conley Elementary, please come forward? Come up here next to me. Okay. With the donation and volunteers from Target and more than 200 volunteers from around the community, including students from Carver, Eisenhower, and Nimitz, the Kaboom Playground was built in just 6 hours. Conley students now have a new playground and an outdoor classroom. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that, Emma. And the amount of this award is $80,000, and it was sponsored by Kaboom. And will Richard Delgado, Director of Athletics, and Diana Ecker, Marketing Manager for Dick's Sporting Goods, please come forward? Dick's Sporting Goods Foundation and Kalia by Carrie Underwood. By the way, you might have seen Richard's picture with her, maybe. Sponsored a Sports Matters grant for girls' youth sports teams in Aldine ISD. And we're proud to have Diana with us today. And we did receive a $100,000 grant to support our girls' sports teams in middle school and high school from Dick's Sporting Goods. And we thank you so much. And you might have noticed there's a lot of people standing in the hallway that are here for a presentation on the AEF grants. Okay. Let's try this. There we go. That works. Okay. All right. And so the pictures that you're going to see today are from our prize posse that went out. So you'll notice a few. Oh, is it still warming up? Okay. All right. Are we good? Okay, thank you. All right, so these are the Innovative Teaching Grant awardees, and I'm going to go through our list of campuses and let you know who they are. And it does say, oh yeah, on, that helps. Let's go back now one, and there we are. So at Bethune Academy, Juana Johnson received $999. Cypresswood Elementary, we had Susan Wald, Christy Carrion, and Misty Cartwright received $5,000. Davis Senior High School, Bradley Kaplan, Allison Messenger, and Nicholas Williamson received $2,885. Dunn Elementary, Anna Maria Hernandez, Irene Tria, Catherine Gibson, Kimberly Terry, and Deborah McCarthy received $4,809. Eisenhower Senior High School, Kaylee Rosblahowski received $964. Grantham Academy, Denise Gaudiano, Eric King, Jermel Viltz, and Bobby Scott received $4,999. Hoffman Middle School, Ashley Kraft and Sharonda Brown received $2,540. And also from Hoffman, we had Ashley Schlafly received $1,000. From Keeble ECPK, super cute, by the way, I must say, $991 for Sarah Perez. Kajawa Elementary, Michelle Martin, Deborah Lindner, Carmen Viggers, Linda Baker, and Gina Hurd received $4,960. Goodness, let's go back. There we are. At Lane School, Robin Schwerin, Karina Andrews, Alyssa Shehan, Courtney Klaus, and Vanderlyn French received $3,532. Mendel Elementary, Ruby Lopez and Jessica Salinas received $4,865. And also from Mendel, Sandra Solis received $991. Odom Elementary received $3,337, and that was Ashley Reed, Brittany Vaughn, Alejandro de la Pena, and Rhonda Moore. Parker Intermediate, Lynette O'Neill received $991. Smith Academy received $3,893. That was David Niedzwetsky. Visual Arts Department, that was Dr. Michael Ann Kelly, and she received $4,969. And Worsham Elementary received $2,604. That was Amanda Torres Palacios and Tyler Vossen. And they have been eagerly waiting out in the hallway, so at this time, I'm going to have them come in by campus and receive their certificates. So as they're coming in, if you will help me and join with applause for them. Okay, we have Bethune Academy. And if you'll come stand over there, we're going to have everybody stand together. Cypress Wood Elementary. Davis Senior High. You're welcome. Congratulations. Dunn Elementary. Eisenhower Senior High. Grantham Academy. Hoffman Middle School, we have two. We have our Stories from the Nest and Family Learning Environment. Can y'all make another row? Because we're probably going to need a little more space. If we can have, if y'all can go in front and have two rows. There you go. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Keeble ECPK. Congratulations. Kajawa Elementary. Congratulations. Lane School. And Mendel Elementary, we have two grants from Mendel. We have the STEM Girls grant and the Lego Storytellers. And Odom Elementary. Parker Intermediate. Congratulations. And we have Smith Academy. And we have our Visual Arts Department, Dr. Michael Ann Kelly. And then Worsham Elementary. Congratulations. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Let's go down to that
Can we
side.
go on that side?
Start at
Right.
third row.
Right. Let's start at third. Yeah. Third row. Will you make it in there? No. Okay. Come into the front, into the, well, it's off
Our Dunn students did it very well, so I know we can do it.
Students could, the students did it.
All right. Hold on, Iceberg. You can see me, I can see you. You can't see me, I can't see you.
No, she can't see the background.
Okay? Yes? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And the group that was before you today, they received a total of $54,329 from the Aldine Education Foundation for their campus programs. And I'm very excited to say that the total for this evening is $234,829. Thank you.
Madam President, that completes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Garza? Can we hear that name you have a problem with?
Well, to be honest, her main name is Miller, so why she doesn't go with that?
Make it easy.
The board has had the consent agenda items in their possession for study and discussed them at length in the study session last night. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the consent agenda items to be voted on by the board tonight? Do I hear a motion regarding the consent agenda items?
I move that all items under A through I on the consent agenda be approved as printed.
Is there a second? Thank you. We'll begin the vote with Mr. Shanklin.
Shanklin, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Bourgeois, yes.
Me, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Motion passes. We'll now have Ms. Dr. Selena Chapa will make a recommendation concerning the health benefits program.
President Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, and members of the board, I would like to introduce Ann Schlueter. She is an English Language Arts Skills Specialist at Eisenhower High School and is joined tonight by other members of the Benefits Advisory Committee. As Ms. Schlueter approaches the microphone, would the other members of the Benefits Advisory Committee please stand and be recognized? Two. Yes. We'd like, she can come stand here. You can come stand, they're going to stand here and they're going to support Ms. Schlueter. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Dr. Chapa. Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Blanson, and members of the board. The overall goal of the Benefits Advisory Committee is to ensure that Aldine ISD is offering the most stable and comprehensive benefits package possible to its employees. The Benefits Advisory Committee has been engaged in an extensive review of the district's health care budget, the historical and projected health care deficits, and implications this deficit could have on future district operations and decision-making. As a result of the review of this information, I would like to make a recommendation on behalf of the entire Benefits Advisory Committee. This committee is composed of employees from every school and auxiliary location in Aldine. We, the Benefits Advisory Committee, would like to make the following recommendation. Transition the health program from its current self-funded structure to teacher retirement system active care.
President Avalos and members of the board, I recommend that we approve the recommendation as proposed by Ann Schluter.
Do I hear a motion regarding the transition to Teacher Retirement System, TRS, Health Benefits Program to be effective September 1st, 2017?
Madam Chair, I move that the transition to the Teacher Retirement System, TRS Health Benefits Program effective September the 1st, 2017 be approved as stated by Dr. Chapa.
I second that.
We'll begin the vote with Dr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
I appreciate all the work the advisory committee has done, and I want to make sure that all of our employees has the best insurance.
Mr. Mead. Vote, and then we'll do comments later.
Okay, no, Mead, no.
Okay.
Bourgeois, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
Okay. Motion passes.
Thank you.
I want to thank the committee for the work that they've done. I mean, I know that you were very thorough in what you did, and we really appreciate that. We've been discussing this for many years, so thank you.
And as I was saying, I appreciate all the work that you've done, and I want to make sure that all of our employees get the best insurance, but I have a problem locking ourselves into a situation that we cannot get out of. Once we're in, and there's no way out, and I just don't like that.
I want to fall in line with both Dr. Garcia and Mr. Mead. We really do appreciate the vote of the Benefits Committee. My understanding was like 42-6. But like Mr. Mead, I have a little bit of hesitation in locking in future boards on this decision. And we have been assured by Dr. Chapa that before the final axe falls, that you will come back to the board as you're still researching this.
Yes, sir. It is my intent to come back to the board before a final notification is sent to TRS.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, members of the committee. In January, the Commissioner of Education will announce preliminary ratings for schools and districts using the new A to F system. Many districts across the state are concerned about the system to determine the A through F ratings. I would like to read the following resolution for the board's consideration. And please, it's a little lengthy, so your patience is appreciated. Whereas the Texas legislature has enacted legislation that requires the Commissioner of Education to implement a public school rating system that would assign A through F grades to schools and districts beginning with the 2017-18 school year, and whereas at least 16 states have implemented a similar rating system utilizing A through F grades for schools and districts, and to date there is no definitive research that suggests these ratings have improved student or school performance. And whereas in a recent statewide survey conducted by the State Board of Education, an overwhelming majority of Texans said they do not want standardized test scores to serve as the primary basis for a public school rating system. And whereas the majority, 55%, of the A through F grades will be based on the State of Texas Assessment of Academic Readiness, STAR, a high-stakes standardized test that does not accurately measure student learning, and whereas the STAR provides little meaningful information to guide student learning, inform teachers, or report academic progress to parents, and whereas the Commissioner's proposed rating system utilizing A through F grades for schools and districts includes 5 domains and 23 unrelated indicators to determine a single grade, leaving the public with an invalid, disconnected reflection of school quality. And whereas the Commissioner's proposed rating system utilizing A through F grades for schools and districts creates a false impression about students ignoring the unique strengths of each school and unfairly reduces each student's worth to the school's assigned grade. And whereas we believe in the tenets set out in creating a new vision for public education in Texas, TASA 2008, and our goal is to transform Aldine in accordance with these tenets. And whereas we embrace meaningful accountability that informs students, parents, and teachers about the learning needs of each student in each school. And whereas we believe our state's future prosperity relies on a high-quality education system that prepares students for college and careers, and without such a system, Texas's economic competitiveness and ability to attract new business will falter. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Aldine Board of Trustees calls on the Texas Legislature to repeal the rating system utilizing A through F grades for schools and districts and develop a community-based accountability system that empowers school districts to design their own internal systems of assessment and accountability that, while meeting general state standards, allows districts to innovate and customize curriculum and instruction to meet the needs and interests of each student and their communities. And be it further resolved that this new system should encompass multiple assessments, reflect greater validity, and more accurately reflect what students know and can do in terms of the rigorous standards. Do I hear a motion regarding the approval of the resolution concerning the A through F accountability rating system for Texas Public Schools?
President, I move that the resolution concerning the A through F accountability rating system for Texas Public Schools be approved as stated.
Garcia seconds the motion.
We'll begin the vote with Mr. Shanklin.
Yes.
Yes.
Avalos, yes.
Bourgeois, no.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Motion passes. It's now time for staff recognitions. Dr. Bamberg.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Avalos, we have several staff members to recognize tonight. First, we'll start with Alexia Rogers, moving from an accountant and if you'll please stand. She's moving from the current position of accountant in the finance department to director of accounting and business services, also in the finance department. Ms. Rogers, I believe we call you Lexi, is that right, around the office? But Ms. Rogers has a degree in accounting with a Bachelor of Business Administration with a major in accounting from the University of Texas in Austin in 1988. And she has had several jobs before she came to Aldine to give her great experience. She's been a staff auditor at Price Waterhouse beginning in 1988, a financial accounting officer at Texas Commerce Bank, credit risk management assistant vice president at Chase Bank, Texas from 94 to 2000. And then she was also in Cy-Fair as a construction accountant in 2012 to 2014. And so we welcome you. You've got 16 years of experience total, but 2.5 of those years in Aldine. And did you bring anyone to introduce to us tonight?
Yes, I did. And I'd like to just do a quick thank you to the leadership team in the finance group, Mrs. An, Tamika, or Dr. Taz, as we call her, and Tim, and you've got several of the directors, and so I just wanted to give a quick thank you for this opportunity. I sure appreciate it. And I have my husband, Bud, my daughter, Erin, and my dad, Fabiana, with me today. So they're all excited that they were able to come because they're supportive and encouraging.
Well, congratulations and welcome to all of you. And next, we want to recognize Damon Christopher McLemore. Did I get that right? Yes, ma'am. Good, Mr. McLemore. He is moving from his current position as an RTI specialist at Dunn Elementary to an assistant principal at Plummer Middle School. Mr. McLemore has a degree in, a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, which he earned at Stephen F. Austin in 1999. He also has a Master of Education in Educational Administration, which he earned in 2015. And I don't see a school here. Where did you earn that degree, sir? Prairie View A&M, very good. All right, and he has 17 years of experience. He came to us 2 years ago from Houston ISD, started in the year 2000 at Kennedy Elementary, and then moved to Aldine to Dunn, where he has been for the last 2 years as an RTI specialist. 17 years of experience with 2 years in Aldine. And so, did you bring someone to introduce to us tonight?
Yes, ma'am. I brought my wife, Alexia, who's an Aldine grad, so I guess I'm very well.
All right.
Her principal and her husband are here. She supported me. I thank them. My future principal is here. Thank you for giving me a chance. And before I go, I want to thank Dr. Blanson as well. 17 years ago, he doesn't probably remember. I remember
you. Yesterday.
At a frat convention, he said my home was in Aldine. I said, no, not me. And he planted the seed, and I am here. Thank you.
Very good. Congratulations. And welcome to all of your family. Congratulations. Next, we want to name Dr. Angeles M. Perez from Assistant Principal at Goodman Elementary to Principal at Goodman Elementary. Dr. Perez has a Bachelor of Arts in Spanish, which she received in 2009 from University of Houston downtown, a Master of Education in Administration, which she received from Lamar University in 2011, and her Doctorate of Education in Educational Leadership, which she received from Sam Houston State University in 2016. So she's a new one. She started her experience in Sheldon ISD as a bilingual teacher at Monaghan Elementary back in 2009, stayed there till 2012, and then she came to Aldine. Started as an intervention specialist at Salmons in 2012, and then became an assistant principal at Salmons Elementary in 2013 to 2015. And then last year came back to us as an assistant principal at Black Elementary in 2016 before she moved over to Goodman to take the assistant principal spot. So she has 7 years of experience with 4 of those years in Aldine. So did you bring anyone to introduce to us tonight?
I did. First of all, good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to thank Dr. Rodriguez for giving me this opportunity, and I promise I will not disappoint you. I've got current principal, Miss Chester at Goodman. Miss her, but she's not going anywhere. I've got my husband, Miguel. Some of you might know him.
We do.
Never forget this lady, Andronetta Marshall, co-worker and friend. Love you. And then I'm just going to call Dr. Alfred Stevens because we actually just graduated together this weekend.
Very good. Congratulations. We look forward to you doing a good job. Ms. Chester, we want to thank you for the work that you've done over the years as you retire. Great job for you. Appreciate that very much. And then next we want to recognize Dr. Pamela Correa. Did I say that close? Correa. All right. And she is in her current position as a principal in Spring ISD. And she is moving to an assistant principal at the Aldine 9th grade campus in Aldine. Dr. Correa has a Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education, which she received from the University of New Mexico in 1995, a Master of Arts in Secondary Education, also from the University of New Mexico in 1997. And then she has an Education Specialist Certificate in Major Education Leadership, also from the University of New Mexico, which she received in 2000. And she comes to us with a lot of experience, started in Albuquerque Public Schools as a teacher, and then became an assistant principal in Albuquerque back in 2000. Started in 95, but then moved to the AP job in 2000, an assistant principal in Austin ISD in 2001, and then became a principal at Carver Academy in Waco in 2004. And then also is that general manager, principal, and superintendent, GM, at the Ask Academy and as a charter school in 2012 to 2014. So she is coming to us as a new Aldine employee, but with 24 years of experience. So welcome. And did you bring anyone to introduce to us tonight?
I did. I brought my husband, Nolan Correa, who is also in education, and he is my support system. And I also
working under her to learn the Aldine system way. So thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate you investing in me.
Well, thank you. Welcome and congratulations. And Ms. Avalos, that concludes the staff members to be recognized.
Thank you. Before the reorganization of the board takes place, I would like to take this a few moments to recognize Mr. Rick Ogden and his work in Aldine as an Aldine ISD board member for the last 28 years. Last month, Mr. Ogden made his resignation announcement, and we are sorry to lose him as a board member, but we will always keep him in our memories and our hearts as a lifelong friend. We've enjoyed his leadership, his friendship, his fellowship, and along with thanking him, we cannot go without thanking his wife, Charlotte. Would you please stand? Because when you're the other half of a board member, that's a job in itself, because you're away from home a lot, which means the other partner has to take care of a lot of things, and you attend events and conferences and so forth. So, Charlotte, we thank you for supporting his work. Okay? We thank you for your service, for your hard work, and making Aldine a great place for our kids. Thank you for being reliable and knowledgeable and about the great work you've done for our board. Okay. I wish you and Charlotte and all of us do the best as you move to be closer to your grandchildren and begin a new and exciting phase of your life. Okay.
There they are.
And these are for Charlotte, not Mr. Ogden, in a way of us saying thank you. Would also like to say that our former board member, A.W. Jones, is in the audience to join us to say farewell to Mr. Ogden, as he retired several years ago after 31 years of service to Aldine. So we've got a lot of longevity around. Before we move on, I'd like to also let the audience know that we are thinking about our dear friend and board member Merlin Griggs. You may have noticed that he was not at our last board meeting. Mr. Griggs is very ill, and we're asking for continued prayers for him and his wife Kathy and their 2 sons. To continue with our board agenda, in November, the board nominating committee presented a slate of officers for approval by the full board in the regular business meeting. The board reorganizes in December with a new president, vice president, secretary, and assistant secretary to serve as officers for 1 year. The slate of officers is the following: President, Dr. Viola Garcia; Vice President, Rose Avalos; Secretary, Steve Mead; Assistant Secretary, Mr. Paul Shanklin. I would like to say that it's been a eventful year. Always learned. I'm a lifelong learner, like many of us, and every year I learn how to be a board member better. There's a lot of work to do, and your heart really has to be in it, and mine certainly is. But I am ready to pass the gavel to Dr. Garcia.
Before we do, Ms. Avalos, I want to thank you for your service this past year. We've had many exciting things happening in Aldine, and you've very successfully led this board and the community through the beginning of the implementation of our approved bond issue with stakeholder meetings and many other organizational activities, as well as the recent creation of a committee to investigate the possibility of Aldine becoming a district of innovation. So thank you so very much for your work on this board. We've really appreciated your leadership. And so before we do the transition, I also sincerely want to thank Mr. Ogden for the many years of service I have served with you. And I know that we are losing a lot of knowledge, a lot of reason, and that your experience is not only in Aldine and in the Aldine community, but as the leader of the state Texas Association of School Boards, you really brought a lot of recognition not only to yourself, to this board, but also to the students who were provided the opportunity to be a part of your celebration as a TASB president. So thank you so very much. We know that we're going to contact you and tap your knowledge and resources, and we appreciate you very, very much.
And I'm counting on that. And I would be remiss, Rose, if I didn't thank you for your stellar leadership this year. I echo Dr. Garcia's remarks and those of other board members who also know what leadership is and what it looks like and what we should emulate. Thank you, dear.
I like to keep it lively a little bit sometimes.
Yes, you do.
It is, it is.
So I'm ready to pass the gavel.
All right, you sure? I'm positive. Thank you. Let me take a minute to reopen your folder. Okay, we'll continue with the agenda. Since 1986, the State Board of Education rule has required the board president to make a public announcement each year of the names of those board members who have completed the required continuing education, who have exceeded the required hours, and who are deficient. The rule has required this announcement to be made at the meeting at which the call for election of board members is normally scheduled. Effective September 1, 2007, House Bill 2563 requires the minutes of the last regular meeting of the Board of Trustees held during a calendar year to reflect whether each trustee has met the training requirements or is delinquent. Amendments approved November 19, 2010 remove any reference to an announcement at the meeting for the call for election. The only announcement the board president must make is now at the last regular board meeting in the calendar year, which is the December meeting. There are 3 tiers of training. Tier 1, experienced board members must receive an update to the Texas Education Code after each legislative session. Tier 2, each year all members of the board and the superintendent must participate as a group in a team-building session intended to enhance the team's effectiveness. Tier 3, experienced board members must receive at least 5 hours of additional continuing education each year related to the areas of need. All of our board members have exceeded the required board member training hours. The year for meeting continuing education requirements reported each December starts January 1st. These hours are from January 1st, 2015 through 2016.
2016 should be
We're a year
16.
behind. Through December 11, 2016. Patricia Bourgeois, position 1, has completed 20.75 hours. Paul Shanklin, position 2, has completed 31.5 hours. Rose Avalos, position 3, has completed 42.5 hours. Rick Ogden, position 4, has completed 27 hours. Steve Mead, position 5, has completed 77.75 hours. Merlin Griggs, position 6, has completed 41.25 hours. And Viola Garcia, position 7, has completed 68.25 hours. In addition, Dissemination of the framework for school governance leadership. The amendments approved on November 19, 2010 require that the board president annually distribute the framework for governance leadership, also known as the framework for school board development, to all current board members and the superintendent. Board members and Dr. Bamberg, a copy of the framework for school board development is in your packet tonight. And so the next item on our agenda is open forum for patrons desiring to be heard, and I see that we do have patrons who have submitted. This is a portion of the board meeting when the board receives input from patrons. Each person who addresses the board will have 3 minutes to speak on his or her issue. There is a clock at the podium that will notify you when your 3 minutes are almost up. Because of topic posting requirements of the Open Meetings Act, board members will not answer any questions posed to the board by the patron, and no action can be taken on any issue presented during this time. If you wish to ask questions of the board, you may submit them in writing, addressed to the superintendent's office, and the board may consider them at a subsequent meeting. If you are an employee or an employee's representative, please be advised that the grievance policy deadlines are not waived. If you have documents to pass out to the board, please identify those documents. Finally, please be aware that rules of decorum will be enforced during the public comment period. Please refrain from making comments directed at specific individual employees or students by name to avoid any potential breach of confidentiality. If you have complaints regarding specific individuals, please provide those in writing, addressed to the superintendent for her attention. Each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequences of his or her own statements. I'll do that later. We have Candace Houston. Would you step up? Thank you.
Good evening, Board. I'm coming before you not as a teacher of the district, but as the president of Aldine American Federation of Teachers. And we wanted to say thank you to Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Garcia, and Ms. Rose Avalos. We had a meeting because we want to build a better relationship between the union and the district. And for the first time in our union history, the district sent an email blast about an event that we were hosting, which was the Student Debt Clinic. And I just want to say we had about 40 people that attended that Student Debt Clinic because it's all about helping our employees in the district. So we just want to say thank you for that. And so one of our members, one of our building reps at Eisenhower Senior is here tonight to be here with me for support. But I also look forward to the spring semester, us working together even more on the first book campaign. So we just want to say thank you, and we look forward to doing more projects with Aldine ISD.
Thank you, Candace. Thank you. We look forward to our continued work. We have Sergio Hurtado. Sergio, come forward, please.
Good evening. Yes, I'm coming here on behalf of MacArthur students or construction tech students. And I'm coming here to talk to all of you about the decision of the construction tech program being moved to the CTE school. And my take on it is, how would I put it? It's not fair to the students that are in the construction tech program because it's supposed to be moved by next year. And it doesn't give the opportunity for the students to finish what they have already started. And I'm one of those students. And I have plenty of friends that say the same thing. And another thing that isn't really fair about it is not many students are going to be able to do the same thing, since there's only going to be 25 people selected from each high school. to go to this CTE school. Compared to Woodshop being in a high school, there's over 100 students in the class, compared to only 25 out of the one high school. I'm sorry.
No, you're doing very well.
I don't know. I just feel as if there's not really a decision being made by the students. It's just being taken up by the administration itself. And I've talked to my teacher, and he said that he can't do anything about it, that I would have to come before you all today and see if if there would be any action taken because of it. But I think I've made my point.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sergio, for coming before the board to present your concerns. I will tell you that the Career and Technical Education High School is part of our bond issue, and it will not be completed and ready to be open next year. And so the other thing that I will tell you is that Dr. Blanson and Mr. Higgins will, if you will come and talk with Mr. Blanson when the meeting's over, we can get further information for you to clarify some of those statements. Thank you, but thank you so very much. You represented yourself very well and the other students at your school. So thank you. We do want to take a moment at this time. I think that many of you are aware that Ms. Ann Hassan is retiring. After 36 years of service in the district, this is her last board meeting. And so she has left, I want you to know, the finances of Aldine ISD in very good shape. You know that for many years now that Aldine has received the highest rating regarding our finances. And so at this time, I would like to have you stand for a minute, please, and be recognized, and let us all thank her for her service to Aldine.
Good job, Ann.
Okay, and so we are at item number 18, which is adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Madam President, I move we adjourn this meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ogden, seconded by Mr. Shanklin. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming.
One more time.
I hear you.